this is going to be kind of a journey working with our the Seraphim architects of the void harmonics. Seraphim architects of the void harmonics. There's a lot of words there. Asking that your angelic aspects, whatever level they are, that they step forward to weave with us in the field, consciously allowing that void harmonic frequency to start to make itself known in the most aligned way. The void is, if you're not familiar with that specific verbiage, language, frequency, the void is another word for, people use it almost synonymously with the 0 point. The void, the 0 point, the quantum field. Harmonize the verbiage if it doesn't sound quite right. Choose and pick whatever words are most aligned for you and start to call that frequency forward and allowing your awareness to... Okay, that's not an English word. The closest word that I can come up with is, it's not even, I'm just going to say it is harmonicize. So it's not harmonize, harmonicize. Like harmonisticians, we've come up with that term before. Maybe harmonisticians, so harmonicize. I don't know. And if you need a way to kind of energetically get yourself there, you can always use that toroidal portal frequency in the middle of the sun's radiance room. Feel free to come off mute and let us know what you're seeing, feeling, hearing. This is 100% co-channeled, so this is a journey of us together, discovering you can step into that toroidal portal, allowing the scene around you to shift. Maybe you're taking a ride on a spirit animal as well through this shift. Maybe it's like a wormhole. Notice the colors. There's like sending your awareness up and through into this void harmonics. The Seraphim architects will meet us there. And it's going to be a much more primordial frequency. So pre-creation or pre-known creation. And let me know if anything's coming through for you. And it may help too, what's coming through is like a yin-yang, white hole, black hole. If you think of white hole as the destroyer, you can think of the white hole as the creator, creatrix frequency. You could do solar and lunar, yin and yang. You could take the black hole and have it spin clockwise, white hole, and have it spin counterclockwise, or swap it up as well. Send your awareness kind of through the 0 point of that white hole, black hole. You can even do the Vesica Pisces, white hole, black hole as well. Use the black hole as one portion of the Vesica Pisces, the white hole is the other. Send your awareness, send your channel through that 0 point, stepping into that primordial void, harmonic presence. Are you guys having anything come through at all, or?
For some reason, I see It's the five-pointed stars, and it's in the shape of starfish, and it is all of the colors are pure crystal, pure. The white is a pure white, and it's shimmering. And then they're showing me like neatly wrapped in a bow, like this beautiful bow of the infinity. And there's this flower of life, flower shape, and then they make me draw it, and in this beautiful thread, and then the side of it, kind of like this, kind of like tendrils. It's almost interesting. It's coming from all sides of the flowers, and it curves out. It ripples out in waves, and it just keeps going and going and going. That's what they're showing me at this moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you're listening to this transmission and you're primarily working in the field, or you're primarily working with the harmonics, with the sound, I just want to validate that, confirm that as well. Very, very important work. And we're deeply grateful for you weaving with us in that frequency. This area that we're channeling in is kind of like the void, so the harmonics. So there's sound, like in the beginning there was sound, that sound turned into light. What I was shown was, I guess, a calibration. That may not be the right word, but they're showing me like if as you approach the frequency of a black hole, it collapses time and space. And they are basically showing me like as you head into this void space, because there's the white hole, which is creator, creatrix. Black hole is like, it's consuming essentially. There's a black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. They say there's actually one black hole, one galaxy is consuming another essentially. And what I'm being shown is basically if you picture the cells of your body in a way, and you can imagine one way to picture it as you approach this black hole, and maybe you've seen like Inception or other movies, like I think recently the Fantastic Four movie came to mind, where they swung close to a star and it started pulling the cells. Like basically what they were showing me was lining the cells of your body up one by one by one, and you can imagine almost like going into a straw, like down to the subatomic frequency as you like are approaching the void, like that 0 point. Not like anything with fear, and again, this is just an interpretation of what I'm sensing. Maybe what you're sensing is something different or much more quiet. When I get into the void space, it's very quiet to me. It's very like so that's what is coming through. Just a way to kind of conceptualize this like very primordial and again the Seraphim too, what came through as well, and I was like, oh, there's a little like programming around that word, and maybe you're experiencing this and maybe not, but just removing the connotation of like religion that may or may not be attached to anything angelic. Different religions have like co-opted the angels or the angelic frequencies. Many of us like watch Kelly Kolodny, and she describes Raphael, which is one of the archangels, as a kind of like a quantum spiral of white light, if that's helpful when you're thinking about the Seraphim architects. You can even call in your galactic architect if you put those glasses on and allow them. The glasses allow your galactic architect to basically see 'Cause I tend to think of my galactic architect as like higher dimensions, and the glasses is just a technique that we've developed that allows your galactic architect to perceive. So if you're in the void space, your personal void space, or the void, you can think of that as a way to kind of like transmit to your galactic architect, if that's helpful. And maybe you need to attune as well too. I think there is the part of me like wants to do something, and really what I'm being told is more to be, to observe, to understand, to remember, to conceptualize, to, yeah, that's what's coming through. Yeah, they're sharing with me too. I got a message, kind of a loud message actually. They were saying that one way to understand, because the last call we were talking about, we channeled like 3, 6, 12 months into the future. One way to understand or remember the future is to understand or remember this space that we're in, this void primordial area, frequency, to kind of expand your consciousness, to help you conceptualize. So yeah, interested to hear if anything else is coming through for you.
I was being shown this Trinity symbol to make me draw this leaf or something like that. It's almost similar to when you mentioned about religion. It's similar to the Celtic symbols of the Trinity, but they make me do a circle around it, and then the center point of it, it opens up into a portal. So they make me open that up sideways. And then they also show me this is into another dimension, and it's opening up to a DNA ladder. And then they're showing me from sideways, all right? And in the inside of the DNA part, it's the shape of diamonds, rows and rows and rows. And they make me turn it in such a way, in an accordion way, collapsing, and it opens up again. So they show me the diamonds. It's rows and rows, opens, 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 opens. And they make me turn it around again and make it into a shape more of, I can't even, it's so multi faces of it. And just repeat, repeat, repeat in all of different directions of the DNA ladder. And then the sound, it's not it's not so much of a void. There's some kind of a serenity of it all. And it ripples in resonance. It's not very audible to human ears, but it sounds very angelic in this verse. And then it's from me picking up all of these stars. They're stars, but they're also seeds, and they're implanted inside all of this DNA. So where does the where they're having me at to conform this somehow with the sun?
It's interesting. I had the Divine Mother, the Divine Father came through as well too, and the Seraphim architects. Were basically saying, like, the message that I was channeling through is they're like in the beginning you were here, was like very, very specific. In the beginning you were here. I think they're talking about because I was like, oh, I was here in the beginning. Okay. And this wasn't as loud, but it was like in order to like it was a version of this, not human words. It's like in order to experience more of ourselves, we chose to essentially like fractalize. But that moment in the beginning, they were saying that moment you were here is the same moment as like now, and they were like adamant that you never left here, basically. Like we're experiencing our current incarnation, and we are essentially an incarnation of our oversoul, higher self, highest self, whatever verbiage, God, source, creator. But in the beginning, this primordial void space is the same space and place as in the now moment, which I was like, okay, that's a pretty large concept, but I accept. And again, with your own discernment too, you know?
Yes, so that information also came to my field a lot recently. So we are both source and our own individual. So basically, at least in our universe, the structure, my understanding is the souls split into 12, that's 12 Elohim. And then each Elohim split into another 12. So that's 144 Seraphim. So that's us. And we are still part of the source. But right now we are just so we are very big. And we are just very small fracture of our higher self that's right now incarnated here. So that's why we are like our avatar. And also each one of the seraphim also split into 1,000. So that's 144,000. That's technically all the star seeds. So we seeded in our universe, all planned for this ascension. So strictly speaking, only the 144,144 are star seeds. Other soul technically called light worker. Yeah, and so we are the stars. Like the The flower of life, each dot is a seraphim. So each seraphim is a major sun. Like each constellation has those major sun. Every sun is a seraphim. So the our body are still in there, but a very small fraction of us right now is incarnated here.
Yeah, thank you for that share. It's a great explanation, Aurora. Did real good. I was just like, because we're talking about a lot of with a lot of different concepts, and I had just asked, like, for the purposes of the channeling for myself, I was like, I just need a place to kind of conceptualize, to like land in, so that I can like kind of attune and like work from that space. So I just came up with like essentially like a time temple. I was like, a theory temple, crystalline? No, it was like a time temple, just like a space. Your conceptualization or my conceptualization of a place within the void, within the 0 point, so that, I don't know, it just feels a lot more comfortable there than like being kind of like floaty around, in the void, in the 0 points, in like the higher harmonics. So if that's useful to you, I hope so.
My ear is really stuffed, make me really feels like I'm in the void now.
Yeah, I'm just feeling into the session as well. I'm not working with anybody in particular, but there is a little bit of attunement as well too. So you can use the dial method. You can use frequency waves of light to calibrate and attune yourself. You can speak directly with the Seraphim, architects, the Elohim, your soul aspects, your council, to help ask them to attune if you need that to kind of allow you to and the purpose of this channeling is like we're hitting different frequencies. Like last call we were 3, 6, 12 months into the future, and then this one we're in like a very primordial void space. So these different octaves, this is allowing us to expand our consciousness, expand our awareness into these different spaces, so that we can kind of weave and braid and grid all of these together, as not only like a council, but like for yourself as well too. So just wanted to kind of, and if you need to check in with your body as well too, or you need to check in with like whether you're etheric, astral, remote viewing, feel free to check in too. It's just like there's a little bit of attunement, because I was feeling it to myself too, and I was like, yeah, this isn't as comfortable as I would like it. So there's an invitation for that.
I think our higher self wants us to have a higher perspective. For Leah's channel, I think your higher self is trying to teach you something about the DNA, which I don't understand either. Like to teach you how the DNA is created and how it works. But I don't understand how the DNA works either.
I was referring back to how it was shared in our group how we can weave, right? So that's what they're teaching me and how to do is weaving it using the strengths that we each one has. And with mine, they're showing me how clear it was. And it's easy for me to connect with the points. It's easier for me to do that now consciously as I'm working with all of you. And it's a beautiful connections with the flower of life, with the flower that the flower energy that I embody with the heart centered. And they're showing me how it's prismatic. And I was, you can see the tone of my voice because I'm very happy because I'm able to create this field around me with this thread of weaving, of sending the burst of multiple flowers field around me. It's almost a shield of container that's keeping me safe while I'm creating. But I'm creating the weaving of this thread with the heart centered of the universe, sending it out in the ripples and ripples and ripples, and then with the Trinity guiding. And it's just a beautiful connections of infinite, limitless possibilities of connections. And all I have to just let go and let that work be transmuted by universe itself, by source itself. It's not my part. I've done my part in creating this field, this container, with all of us connecting, because we are in the co-creation of this magical symphony of the angelic seraphim. And there's no wrong or right way. There's no good or bad. It's just is. That's what they're saying. And each one of us shines even brightly, like it's brighter than you can even imagine. That's what's going on. That's what they're showing me right now. And for now, I am complete. Thank you.
They were showing me too that the Seraphim architects that you can create using the harmonics of sound, or that we have created, or that we are creating. So there's an invitation if that feels. What I was being shown was like creating like worlds, entire planets, civilizations, like sound, light, yeah. You can even expand your awareness out and see the life forms, I guess, that's on the these tiers of creation. It's not easy to articulate what I'm being shown, because it is a higher dimensional perspective than what the human experience is on. So from a frequency of the void, specifically the harmonics, you get a different perspective that I'm trying to conceptualize the words, but it's difficult to explain what I'm seeing.
Are we opening doorways, portals? Because they're showing me
Sure, go for it.
multiple doors.
Yeah,
They're showing
go
me
for it.
multiple doors. Open, open, open. It's not just one door, but it's continuously keep opening and opening, opening. It's almost like in the vision of this, I have this Himalayan quartz that looks like a diamond. It's very clear and it goes on and on and on and infinite. And one by one, we're opening it. It's almost like we're penetrating into somewhere. I do not understand quite yet where, but yes, we are expanding. That's the word, expansion. Expenditures? Wait, what? Um, okay. Expansions, expenditures, doors, upon doors, upon doors, upon doors, and it's endless. We are venturing in. It's not the abyss. It's not the unknown anymore to us, but it was the unknown. So far, that's what I get.
I think that's about the universe is fractal. So we just keep a fractal to infinite. Even our DNA is, our cells are a universe, you can say. So we have the micro universe, and inside us is the micro universe. So we just keep a fractal.
Yeah. I was kind of working with the frequency of the white hole, black hole as well, too. Not so much in the need to like do anything per se, but just exploring kind of that like creation frequency, primordial womb. And again, it's not necessarily like, I mean, I think ideally like the human mind like wants something to like do, quote unquote, but I think part of this is really like attunement, calibrate, expansion, awareness, consciousness. Asking if there's anything else that needs to be witnessed consciously within this space by the Seraphim architects. Any additional harmonic architecture, void technology, known, unknown. They were saying that this is one of many voids, which I was like, okay, it's interesting. Were there other void spaces? Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Confirming that. Confirmation, yes. Yes. We get to understand ourselves fully, the connection within ourselves and the universe, the much bigger universe. Yes. Confirmation.
Yeah, there are lots of universe. We keep creating universe to understand ourselves. So at the beginning, when when the source just suddenly came into existence, the source wants to understand herself. So the source divided into us, and then we start making universe. At the beginning, the universe are very basic, and now we start making more and more complex the universe. But at the beginning, it's like a void, nothingness, and then it suddenly separated into like matter and antimatter. So that's the white hole and the black hole. And that's how it becomes infinite, because it's void, but then once it's separated into black hole and white hole, it's infinite creation.
Yeah, see if there's anything else here that needs to be witnessed as well. Maybe there's like a cosmic frequency too, whether it's antimatter or matter, the building blocks of the universes, the galaxies, very fabric of creation itself. the primordial womb of creation. Yeah. Gathering any last messages or transmissions from this space. And maybe you were just working with the mechanics of like the black hole, the white hole. There is that, I forget the name of it. Lenny had channeled it through before, pre-distortion frequency as well, which distortion is, harmonize the words like pre-fractalization, pre-separation, that space in between the primordial, like the beginning, that liminal space. There's an actual like name for it. I'll have to go back and find it.
Barbelo.
Yeah. The Barbelo, right? Barbelo?
Yeah, Barbelo.
That's it. The Barbelo frequency. We had a grid working call where we talked about not only the white hole but the Barbelo. So if you need to visit that as well, pre-distortion, which again, distortion is just the fractalization, the separation from unity, consciousness. Not saying it's bad at all.
It's pre-separation.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the beginning, it's void of nothingness, and then it's separated into the black hole and white hole, and then is the Barbelo.
Yeah, absolutely taking a moment here to witness that for yourself. And then witness that for one another. And then anchoring that template for others into the field. Allowing others to they're showing me like it's like a lattice to weave with that pre-separation remembrance frequency, turning back to unity, returning back to that which we never left, essentially. That same moment is in the primordial womb of creation, is the same moment that is now. Yeah, anybody else have anything coming through that they wanted to share just getting the ping that I was like, man, this is quite a bit of energy. It's not as comfortable as I would like it to be, physically and energetically. So I was just kind of pulling my awareness back.
Mhm. So with that, I'm extending out there, showing me to extend out my thread of connection to you guys to weave into the field, into completion.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. And I need to move my shoulder and my crown area. It is
Yeah.
quite something. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just like, you need to move, wiggle. I'm just making yourself comfortable. It's just like, it's just not as comfortable as I would like it to be. That's all.
Mhm. I feel that, but it's okay. That's all right. It's something new. New
Yeah.
beginnings, right? New
Yeah.
beginnings. Yes,
That
yes.
is that's the purpose of the awareness of the
Mhm.
expansion.
Mhm.
um, allowing yourself to shift in whatever way, sending your awareness back to where we started, whether you're in your etheric body, your astral, whether you're remote viewing or you're just weaving in the field, or maybe you're one of those harmonicians and you're weaving the actual higher harmonics. Asking that our personal record keeper step forward to update our records. Any other templates that need to be anchored into the Akash, asking the Akashic keepers to come forward. Downloading those mission logs and sending the updates to however it is for you. I'm going to send mine to Seth and Dave. They're the record keepers for the record keeper. um, the council, the Seraphim architects, I was just telling them Kiara Tisho telepathically. It's like, I was like, that's it for now. It's like that's enough. So gratitude to them and the others. Yeah, I got like, I don't know. It's just like a lot of spine for me. Like first it was upper, then now it's like lower. It's at the base of the spine, like into the hips for me personally. So just witnessing that. Anything else coming through for you guys? We need to witness.
Same. The sacrum area. Definitely need to release that area at this moment. It's a lot. Mhm.
The DNA part I really don't understand. So there are lots of DNA. When you are in 5D, it's 12 strand DNA. When you're in 7D, it's 24 strand DNA. And when you are in 9D, it's 48 strand DNA. And so it just keep goes up.
Yeah, I think I'll speak a little bit to that. We've been receiving DNA activations for a while now. And if you're listening to the playback, and this is the first time that you're hearing about it, just an invitation to obviously with your own discernment, like expand your awareness, the understanding of what, beyond like the sciencey side of things, right? I think for me, the easiest way to quote unquote conceptualize it, or is I'm like on the energetic side of things. So energetically, I have a much like the higher understanding, the higher mind that Erica was talking about has the ability to remember, know, understand, versus like the human conceptualization of it. Because when you say like, oh, 12, 24, it's like, okay, well, is this like so I'm kind of going from the top down versus like if you imagine from like the bottom up. Maybe that's another way to state it. Like on the energetic side, if you can energetically attune, calibrate, weave, expand your consciousness into 5D, 7D, to me that seemed that like that concept is much more easier to grasp and kind of like anchor into the mental, emotional, and physical body than trying to understand like kind of the like other way, like from the cellular, subatomic, cellular, and then working your way up. I don't know, that's just how I see it. I don't know if that's confusing or not, but let me know if that's helpful. They were just telling me another way too was so like we have this concept of CRISPR, so gene splicing. Essentially, this is like a not like a concept. This is like something that's been happening for a while. COVID vaccine was actually a version of gene therapy. It wasn't a vaccine. It was actual like gene therapy. And what they were sharing with me is that because I was asking for help on how to understand, and they're saying like if you take that concept of gene splicing or DNA splicing, and you can call in the metaphysical technology version of that for upgrading your DNA, but it's much easier to explain in non-human terms. So it uses sound and light, and I was being shown spiraling geometry as well, folding into the DNA. So I was being shown a bunch of like swirling geometric lit up like radiant symbols, and then like watching them swirl and then fold and then like go into the actual DNA itself. I don't know, is that helpful, Aurora?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the accordion thing that they were showing me, like how to make me understand the concept of it better and how I can weave into it. It's turning it into this way first, right? One way, and then turning it that way, or accordion, and then it's like expand it. It's like playing with looking it at from a innocent childlike point of view, how you would want to play with it. That's what they're giving me, the simplicity of it. Just like a kid, play with it. That's how they download it to me.
Yeah, does that make sense, Aurora, or you're like, I don't know?
A little bit. So the DNA, I I did some research about how the vaccine is created, so I kind of know the DNA splicing. So the DNA has a matter part. Our human DNA only like very small, less than 1% is activated. So all the actual information is matter information stored in DNA. So how we actually activate it, we can do meditation to activate that matter information in the DNA. But that's just help us to activate our own DNA. But I just really wants to visualize what like a 48 strand DNA will look like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can remember that information is what I was trying to share with you. You can directly just call that information in, ask for it to download consciously or unconsciously, and then ask for them to show you different ways to conceptualize it. I was describing to you a couple ways that they were like showing me, but don't necessarily like get hung up on the human, I call it the human condition.
Yeah,
The
because we
human,
are just think everything in 3D, but
right,
they are
exactly,
actually much
exactly.
higher D.
Right, so don't get hung up on the human condition of like, because it's like a limiting belief. It's like we can, there's the yin and the yang. There's like the flow and the opening to expansion, the feminine frequency, and then there's the masculine, like I'm driving down the highway, and this is the way it's going to be, right? I have to drive down the highway this way. That's a very linear concept of thinking, and while it may be useful for some things, it may be potentially, and again, I'm not saying, it may be potentially limiting if you're like, I really, and there is a lot of value in like understanding, but sometimes you just don't want to get stuck in these loops and these patterns of like, okay, I need to, I mean, clearly like the information is there. We can call that information in. You can download that information. You can have it come to you in whatever way is most comfortable, consciously, unconsciously, dreams, synchronicities, numbers. I think the easiest for me is just to tap into the Unified Galactic Akash, download it, and then have that come across in the way that's most aligned for you. That's probably like, I think, the shortest path to understanding that I could share.
Okay.
But I would say, like, if you're on this call and you're listening to this playback, rest assured that the you're in 45D and above, absolutely. The 3D has been closed out for a while now. We're seeing the last little bit. There is like a matrix overlay, which is why we're still able to kind of perceive, and you see all of these tumultuous things happening. Just know that that overlay isn't going to always be there, and within the next year, max 2, but for sure within the next year, there will be a much more palpable separation, is probably like the most broad way I could say it. So that's why 2026 is like an important year, because we're in that liminal space, and we're still much more a continuation of 25, because we're still in the wood snake energy of like calling in gifts, abilities, building out the grids, dropping in the architecture, anchoring the architecture, starting to build out and conceptualize not only crystalline but also the higher harmonic octaves as well. And if you're listening to this, you're like, I don't know what any of that stuff means, that's okay. Many of us don't have the full understanding of that, and that's why we get on these calls together and we channel together, and we're building that crystalline bridge to that full remembering frequency. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, did anybody else have anything before we kind of get ready to close out? Shift here, anything else? Yeah, there is one message here that I'll share that's coming through. That was we've been talking about it for a while, but it's, I guess, I don't know why particularly loud today. And again, use your own personal discernment. Always, I will always point you back to your own discernment. This isn't like, this is my truth, doesn't necessarily need to be your truth. One of the things that they just shared was, as I asked for any other messages, personal quantum harmonization. You'll hear me talk about calibration and attunement as a counsel, as the stream of consciousness. So we're calibrating our fields together, but also like remembering that we are sovereign, we are free, and that everything starts within, as within, so without, from the micro into the macro. To continue to really do the work on our personal, and it's not work, that's the wrong word, to really quantum harmonization is essentially going to help with a lot of the things that we're experiencing, harmonizing within our inner masculine, our inner feminine, our inner child, our inner protector, our inner frequency. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Also,
it does.
it tells us to keep harmonizing our own divine masculine, divine feminine, and inner child aspect. I think I'm pretty harmonized. Am I harmonized?
The word cultivate comes up when you mention that.
Which word?
Harmonize, harmonization, harmonizing, cultivation comes up. Are we cultivating our own? Or are we cultivating together?
It's like when you're weaving, when you're braiding and when you're weaving. I know Christina does that. I'm sure others do that too. But earlier we were talking about, and when you're weaving, you got, let's just picture strands of yarn, right? Or filaments, different color filaments, energetically. If we are each one of those threads or strands and we're braiding and weaving together, that's why like we're each doing our own work and we're walking our own path in the most aligned way, so that you aren't getting like so you're able to basically weave that in the most efficient way, that like very quantum braid, that tapestry, if you want to picture it as like the tapestry of creation, you know. And it's like we have to continue to really be doing the work ourselves. It's not like one of those things, it's the embodiment, really. It's not like some people in spirituality, it's so common, do as I say and not as I do, and then you find out they're doing all this like weird shit. And you're like, why are you even, you know, telling other people to do this, and your field is not coherent or stable or gridded as efficiently as it could. And I'm not judging anybody, I'm just saying part of the path that we're walking together as this community is getting on this net spiral up frequency in the most efficient way and weaving that together, you know.
Yep, I get it. Thank you.
I get it too. It tells us to weaving and the embodiment.
Yeah, there's something that's coming through too, and I know in the community, like we're tapping it together, but it's specifically with sound. I don't have a good word for it. Higher harmonics is the closest I can get to it, but it's specifically with sound. The sound frequencies themselves. We talk about like weaving and gridding, and we all understand those concepts, but it's like that, but with sound. And I don't have a good way to conceptualize it, but it's been in the field for a while, and it's getting louder and it's getting louder, and it's like, there's gridding, there's weaving, and then there's that version, but with sound, basically. So I just want to put that into the field as well too. I don't have a great way to conceptualize it. Like orchestrating, we all understand like kind of the human versions of sound, right? There's the octaves as well. But there is the weaving, the gridding version of whatever that is. If you guys come up with it, like, please let the rest of us know what that is.
I think maybe it's like singing and playing instrument. Is that it? Like, oh, the string instrument is singing and string instrument.
OMG, yes. So talking about that, our sister Leslie gifted me with a Tibetan singing bowl and a ukulele. So perhaps that layered with some kind of instruments that we can play or we love or enjoy playing, mixed with our humming and our light language chanting, that creates that harmonization piece of it. Our own sound wave of healing.
Yeah. It's like, have you been to a sound bath before, and you know how they play different instruments, but there's the singing bowls themselves, the crystal, and then there's brass. I do the didgeridoo. My friend does, like, she has a drum. It's like that, but the sound itself, like, if you imagine a sound bath, if you're like receiving, I guess if you're giving too, but there's all these different instruments, and like the sound essentially turns into this light, and it just like hits every single person at the sound bath, and it weaves through your entire field. So if you're playing an instrument, same exact thing, basically. Speaking light language, same thing. Saying your intention, same thing. Humming, reciting mantras, same thing.
And we are going to go to a higher octave, like a 1111 hertz. So trying to make 1111 hertz sound.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, humming specifically is very activating because it stimulates your vagus nerve. You can also like chanting too. You can chanting is like huge in many different places throughout the world. They chant basically. So yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for spending time with us today. Deeply, deeply appreciate each and every one of you. Very grateful for all of the frequencies that were here today, our councils, inner children, the four directions, guardians, allies, and all the angelic frequencies. Clarity in our channels. Yeah, really interesting. Take some time for integration too. That's what I got, a very loud. And what I'll say is that I'm trying to find a balance between our personal and counsel and our personal expansion, our expansion in the stream of consciousness specifically, and making it so that it's most comfortable with ease, alignment, grace, and love on all levels and layers of us. Like, yes, we are on the path for expansion, but also I don't want it to be one of those things where it's like you show up and you get expanded and then it's just not like now I need to spend the rest of the day in integration. Does that make sense? I don't know if you guys feel that, because sometimes I'm like, golly, it's a lot of energy that comes through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel that. Perhaps we can bounce off the energy to just kind of softly land. However, perhaps we can do collective breath work together to regulate, to just kind of let everything sink in, regulating nervous system. And instead of doing it individually, we get either one of us can put into our group of breathwork meditation that we can do together, or even in this call right now, softly, gently going down.
Yeah, I'll drop one under the I'll drop my favorite one under Limitless Creator's Frequency. The breathwork one. I'm just kind of each call, like as we continue to bask or bathe in the stream of consciousness, I'm just trying to be like consciously aware of the actual energetics that comes through, you know, and I don't want it to be like, oh my gosh, I get off this call and now I need to spend time integrating, you know, but I think because it is quite a bit of energy that comes through, and I'm even like I'm noticing that as well, because the frequencies that came through earlier, the Barbelo, black hole, white hole, the void as well, like all of these concepts are like more advanced concepts than what has like been pretty traditional for our calls, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And also do our diets, right? The food and drinks that we consume can actually helps into the integration to it. Perhaps if someone who is into nutrition field can integrate that into the group. It's like, hey, these are the most aligned for us at this moment as we finish up the call. Yeah, take it as what it may. Something along that way. So it's from all angles, right? It's not just from the breathwork meditation, it's also the food interests that we consume, and also the sounds in all areas, very much.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys and gals so much. Appreciate you. Thursday will be the Galactic Grid Play call, and I'll drop something into the chat. What comes through, there's always so many different frequencies that are waiting for the one galactic gridding that we have. And of course, like, we're always free to do side missions, side quests together, tap in and see what comes through. Yeah, there's so many things that are weaving in the field when it comes to the galactic frequency and planetary, but for now, planetary is back into the field. Did you guys have anything else, or anything else before we close out and call it a day?
Just want to send my gratitude toward you, Glenn, for holding the space, and Aurora for sharing the energy with us. Thank you both for here. And to everyone else that's going to be contributing, listening to this. So much love and so much gratitude to each and every one of you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Calling it into completion, into integration, releasing any of the quantum field 0 point fields, releasing the void, any additional fields, any other energetics, calling our energy back to us. Your energy is yours, my energy is mine. Any additional energetics, releasing that into the 0 point for alchemization and transmutation. It is done, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Thank you, guys.
Thank
you,
Enjoy the rest.
you.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you hopefully on Thursday. Okay.
And see you guys later.
Okay. Ciao, ciao. Bye.